chosen one. Stop scrolling. Yes, you. Out of all the voices you could be listening to right now, out of all the videos that could have appeared on your screen, this message found you. Not by accident, not by coincidence. Heaven arranged this moment. Because there is something God needs you to hear right now. And the enemy hoped you would never hear it. For too long you have questioned yourself. You have wondered if you were overlooked. You have asked silently in the dark, God, do you still see me? You kept showing up. You kept praying. You kept believing, even when nothing around you made sense. But tonight, today, this very moment, God interrupts your thoughts, and He says, my child, I never lost sight of you. Not for a second. Not when they walked away. Not when the doors slammed shut. Not when the opportunities disappeared. Not when you sat there in silence wondering if your life would ever change. He saw it all. Every tear, every disappointment, every prayer whispered when no one else was around. You thought heaven was quiet, but heaven was watching. You thought God was delaying, but God was preparing. And now, something is shifting. Something powerful. Something irreversible. Because God says, every door they closed cannot stop what I am opening for your life. Listen carefully. People tried to limit you. They labeled you. They underestimated you. They dismissed your ideas. They doubted your calling. They looked at you and saw someone ordinary. But God never called you ordinary. God called you chosen. And being chosen comes with a cost. Chosen people walk through seasons that make no sense. Chosen people face doors that slam shut without explanation. Chosen people experience rejection that feels personal. But what you thought was rejection was actually divine redirection. There were rooms you begged to enter. But if those doors had opened, they would have destroyed you. There were people you fought to keep, but if they had stayed, they would have delayed you. There were opportunities you cried over losing, but if you had received them, they would have trapped you in something smaller than your destiny. So God stepped in quietly, strategically, lovingly, in Anne. He closed doors that you didn't have the strength to walk away from. And I know that hurt, because when a door closes in your face, it feels like failure. It feels like humiliation. It feels like your future just collapsed. But heaven was not closing your story. Heaven was closing chapters, because there is something about to open for you that will make those old doors look small. God says, you were not rejected, you were protected. Let that sink deep into your spirit. Protected from environments that would have drained you. Protected from people who smiled in your face but carried silent envy in their hearts. Protected from paths that looked promising but led to emptiness. And yes, it felt painful, because protection often looks like loss in the moment. But loss is not always defeat. Sometimes loss is God clearing the path. Remember what it says in Isaiah 43:19. See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? God is speaking those words over you right now. A new thing. Not a recycled blessing. Not a second-hand opportunity. Something new. Something designed specifically for your purpose. And the reason the enemy fought you so hard. The reason confusion surrounded your life. The reason discouragement kept knocking at your door. is because the enemy saw what was coming before you did. The enemy knows that once this door opens, everything changes. Your mindset changes, your environment changes, your confidence changes, your influence changes, and suddenly the same. People who doubted you will start asking, "How did this happen?" But it wasn't luck. It wasn't coincidence. It was divine timing, because God never rushes. Preparation. There were things inside of you that needed to grow, strength you didn't know you had, wisdom you needed to gain, discernment you had to develop, because where God is taking you, not everyone can go. Let me say that again. Where God is taking you, not everyone can go. Some relationships could not survive your elevation. Some friendships could not handle your transformation. Some people were comfortable with the version of you that struggled, but they are uncomfortable with the version of you that rises. And that's why the distance happened. That's why conversations became cold. That's why connections slowly faded. You thought something was wrong with you, but God was simply separating you for what is next. Because the next season of your life requires clarity. It requires courage. It requires spiritual authority. And the old version of you, the one that doubted your worth, could not walk into the doors God is opening. But something changed inside you. The pressure changed you. The waiting changed you. The heartbreak changed you. And slowly, quietly, powerfully, God began rebuilding your identity. You started realizing something. You were stronger than you thought. You survived things that should have broken you. You walked through storms that should have stopped you. You endured silence that should have made you quit. But you're still here, still breathing, still hoping, still searching for purpose. That is not weakness. That is proof of calling. Because the enemy doesn't fight people who have no destiny. The enemy attacks people who carry dangerous potential. And you, yes, you listening right now, carry something powerful inside of you, something the world needs, something heaven assigned to you before you were born. Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future." Notice something powerful. God didn't say He had random ideas for your life. He said plans. That means intention, design, purpose. Even when things looked chaotic, God's plan never fell apart. Even when you felt lost, God's plan never disappeared. And even when doors closed, God's plan kept moving forward. Because what God has written over your life, no human decision can erase, no rejection can cancel, no delay can destroy. The door God is about to open for you cannot be closed by people. Revelation 3:2-8 says, "I have placed before you an open door that no one can shut." Read that again in your spirit. No one, not the people who doubted you, not the ones who betrayed you, not the voices that tried to discourage you, not even the mistakes you regret. Because God's mercy is greater than your past, and God's calling is stronger than your failures. You may have stumbled. You may have doubted. You may have even walked away from your purpose for a while. But God never walked away from you. And now He is calling you forward again. Not backward, forward, forward into confidence, forward into healing, forward into purpose, The enemy tried to trap you in memories, but God is pulling you into destiny. Listen carefully to what the Spirit is saying. You are entering a season where clarity will replace confusion. Peace will replace anxiety. Opportunity will replace limitation. But before the door opens, God needs you to understand something deeply. The doors they closed were never meant to define you. They were meant to refine you. Every disappointment sharpened your discernment. Every betrayal strengthened your wisdom. Every lonely night deepened your connection with God. You thought you were being abandoned, but God was actually drawing you closer, closer to His voice, closer to His purpose, closer to the person you were always meant to become. And now the moment is approaching. You can feel it, something inside. You know change is coming, a shift in your life, a shift in your spirit, a shift in your direction. Because heaven is opening doors that human hands cannot shut. Doors of opportunity, doors of restoration, doors of influence, doors of favor. And when those doors open, people will wonder how it happened so quickly. But they didn't see the years of preparation. They didn't see the silent battles. They didn't see the prayers whispered in exhaustion. They didn't see the moments when you almost gave up, but didn't have and saw. God saw, and heaven kept record. Psalm 126:5 says, "Those who sow with tears will reap with songs of joy." You planted tears, you planted faith, you planted patience. Now harvest is coming, not small harvest, overflowing harvest. And God is saying something very clearly to you right now. Get ready. Get ready for doors you didn't knock on. Get ready for favor you didn't expect. Get ready for restoration you thought was impossible. Because what I am opening for your life is bigger than what you lost, bigger than what you imagined, bigger than what you prayed for. And when it happens, you will finally understand why certain doors had to close, because they were never your destination. They were simply detours on the road to something greater. So do not look backward with regret. Look forward with expectation. Lift your head, straighten your shoulders, strengthen your faith, because the God who carried you through every closed door is now standing in front of the one that leads to your breakthrough. And when He opens it, no one will be able to stop what is coming into your life. Not fear, not doubt, not opposition. Because this door was written into your destiny long before the world ever knew your name. So if this message reached your heart, if you feel something awakening inside your spirit right now, this is not random. This is confirmation. God is speaking directly to you, and He is saying, "My child, the season of closed doors is ending. The season of open doors is beginning. Receive it, believe it, walk in it." Type Amen if you receive this message, and subscribe. If you are ready for the shift God is bringing into your life,